Wait, chat. Patrick CC made a video about Skate 4? Wait, I want to watch this. Wait, is Skate 4 out now? What's going on? Wait, let's check this out.
After 15 long
Hold on, let me pause the music.
years of dreaming about the release of the fourth EA Skate game, we now have it.
Oh shit, I'm on the wrong channel as well. Hold on, let me switch so I don't get ads randomly in the middle of this.
After 15 long years
I
of
noticed that because I wasn't subscribed. And I was like, wait, I know I'm subscribed to Patrick CC. What's going on here?
dreaming about the release of the fourth EA Skate game, we now have it. And it's another soulless
It's out now? Wait, I gotta play it. But I am like, I got an hour before I have to go back to work.
Fortnite modeled microtransaction
So I'm filming
scam
a video. I'll end up having like 9 hours, 10 hours of work today, probably.
disguised as a video game.
I did 12
the EA
hours
Skate
yesterday.
franchise entirely redefined what skateboarding games should feel like. Most fans look back on them as a near-perfect trilogy, so it was almost impossible to match expectations. But the developers of this game got away with a slimy tactic. They framed the rebirth of this game as a way to give back to the fans, and that they were going
It's not. I'm sorry. It's just everything I've seen from it. Of course, I haven't played it yet because I didn't even know it was out yet. And I'll get to playing it when I'm available to, but from everything I've seen, it's not nearly as good as all three of the other games combined.
going to use our feedback and requests as the main driver for what this game would look and feel like. But they were lying. Fans made very simple requests. We want a story mode, the ability to skate offline by yourself, Hall of Meat. Hell, at least can we play an actual game of Skate? No. Almost all of the basic requests were outright ignored because they were never actually building this game for the Skate community.
That's hilarious. That literally, like, all of the game modes from the past game are just not a thing. Like, what? Why?
We're taking advantage of the Skate community, using nostalgia and goodwill as bait to slowly roll out a glorified mobile game that is going to beg you to spend money on overpriced aesthetics. The developers stripped everything from this franchise that was great and turned it into just another soulless
What? They have, like... Oh, okay. They literally just want to be Fortnite. They added dancing emotes into the game? Really?
cash grab. And
Why?
since they don't care about the legacy of Skate,
We already, like, we had emotes in the games before. But they're not, like, fucking Fortnite dances.
this video is going to make you realize just how badly this iconic franchise has been dragged through the mud, and how it's also a grim reminder of where the entire gaming industry is headed.
Wait, I just have one question. What the fuck is Butter Worldwide? Anyways.
Because if your favorite game franchise hasn't been ruined yet, just wait. It'll happen soon. When the very first EA Skate was announced, their promise was to be a reflection of real skateboarding culture, that raw, gritty, and rebellious nature that was highly overlooked in the mainstream. The mainstream image of skateboarding was largely shaped by the explosive success of the X Games, which debuted in 1995 and saw massive viewership by the early 2000s, with millions tuning in to watch skaters like Tony Hawk, who cemented his legacy by landing the first ever 900 at the 99 X Games. Skateboarding was transformed from
That was in 1999? Really? That's insane.
an underground artistic
I didn't realize it was
lifestyle
that,
into
like,
a polished
that
global
time period.
sport. And I'm not demonizing the X Games. I think it was an incredibly
That was
important
before I
facet
was
to grow
born.
interest around the world. It was undeniably sick to watch Danny Way launch himself over the Great Wall of China, or Bob Burnquist
Yeah, that's
dominate vert
crazy.
ramps.
Bob is kicking a freestyle right now.
But it's no secret that the corporate sponsors and TV-friendly presentation didn't represent the
insane.
vast majority of skateboarders, who were skating in the streets, shredding handrails behind supermarkets, getting kicked out of parking garages, filming video parts on camcorders, and running from security guards. What added to the mainstream interest was the success of the Tony Hawk Pro Skater video game franchise. The fast-paced gameplay, iconic soundtracks, and exaggerated trick mechanics are literally some of my earliest childhood memories. But the franchise was never designed to simulate skateboarding with realism. It leaned into an arcade-style gameplay where players could chain impossible combos, perform gravity-defying tricks.
Yeah,
and
like,
grind
what was that? What was that
where
just now?
players could chain impossible
So watch what happens when he goes up to that ledge over there.
possible combos, perform
He didn't even pop onto it.
gravity-defying tricks, and grind on
That's why I don't fuck with the Tony Hawk games. I think they're boring. I'm sorry. They're not. Like, I want a happy medium between realism. I want a happy medium between this and Skater XL, which is the Skate series. That's exactly what it is.
power lines. Each game was over the top and undeniably addicting. The first game sold over 350,000 units in just the first 2 months in North America, shipping a staggering 3 million copies worldwide by spring of 2000. Pro Skater 2 proved how dominant the game was when it broke the world record for the best-selling extreme sports video game in history, which sold over 2 million in the USA alone. As if that wasn't
Oh, shit.
insane, it was
Hold
beat
on.
out the very next year by Pro Skater 3, which is still
Fuck.
the best-selling game of the series, selling over 7 million copies across all consoles to date.
Cycle
But
bin.
things started to change when MTV became
Sorry,
interested in
sorry,
skateboarding.
sorry.
They understood it wasn't just about acrobatic tricks, but the lifestyle and the culture behind it. They were crucial in introducing the rebellious nature of skateboarding to the mainstream.
sorry, I'm so
Ironically,
sorry.
it
Hold on.
started with Jackass, which was a show about ridiculous stunts, pranks, wrecking your body, and laughing through the pain. But it was performed by
Okay.
mostly
We
skateboarders
should be
and
good.
originally intended to just be funny cutaway scenes in between gnarly skate tricks. From there, MTV greenlit shows like Viva La Bam and Robin Big, who initially represented that skating counterculture. Bam transformed his house into what looked like a Tony Hawk video game map, and Rob would skate the streets with his bodyguard Big Black, whose job was to prevent other security guards from stopping Rob's sessions.
Wait, that was a real guy? I just thought he was from the Skate video game. I didn't know he was a real guy in real life. What?
Big Black, whose job was to prevent other security guards from
Wait. Is this a crime to just for Big Black? I feel racist. I feel racist saying that. But that's what they call him. That's what he goes by. Like, okay, I'm just gonna call him the bodyguard. That's better. That makes me feel like I'm not saying something completely racist. Is it a crime for him to go fucking tackle a security guard because he's harassing the skateboarder?
stopping
Is that what he just did? Is that a crime? Technically?
obsessions. Skateboarding had such a tight grip on the culture that MTV launched a show called Scarred, which didn't show insane tricks, but rather the exact opposite. Brutal bails, broken bones, and stunts that almost always ended in a trip to the hospital. Although the average person
Why would you even try to do that? Bro absolutely just busted his dick off of his entire body. I guarantee that's what happened. He sacked himself so hard on that bike seat. Oh my
watch
god.
these MTV shows for the entertainment and chaos, it spoke to real skaters and aspiring skaters on a deeper level. Sure, the mega ramp is sick, but so is a backlip down a 10 stair, so is a blunt slide into the bank, or sometimes just a flowy driveway session rips harder than massive stunts. As these shows got more popular, street skating and the culture surrounding it became more interesting and entertaining than professional skating. And while the
It
Tony
is.
Hawk franchise
It always
tried to
has been. I'm sorry. Unless it's Tony Hawk doing an actual or like another professional doing something that no one has ever done before. It's so much more fun watching YouTube videos of people skating handrails and shit. That it's just so much more enjoyable. YouTube skateboarding, I'm sorry. I know I grew up in the era of YouTube skateboarding, but it's just better. I'm sorry.
to capitalize on this movement aesthetically with games like Underground and American Wasteland. They had the same unrealistic, gravity-defying combos, but with a new texture.
Again,
Then in
I apologize, but they all
2007, EA
suck.
Skate was announced,
Skate
a
is
game
just
that
the best.
promised it would not only look like realistic skating, but it would feel like realistic skating.
And that's where we started. How do we capture the experience of skateboarding? All the physical feel, the feeling of actually cracking an ollie, the feeling of doing those tricks and getting that sense of mastery. As fans of the Tony Hawk series, it was time to really bring the feeling of skateboarding out.
The first trailer they released embodies just how different this game was going to be.
Bro, this is the worst quality trailer. Oh my god, it's hurting my eyes, actually. I'm not trying to be a little bitch, but it's actually hurting my eyes.
You didn't need to grind on power lines above a city. Just bombing a hill or hitting an 8-stair was exciting enough. It was about hearing the realistic sound effects of the wheels sliding on the concrete.
Wait, that was cool.
It was about feeling the freedom of cruising in an open world. From the beginning, EA marketed Skate as a real skater's game, saying just like your real first time on the board, feels a bit awkward at first, but with some practice, it opens up the more you play it. What made these trailers even more impactful was that they were being posted across YouTube at a time when most game studios were still relying on magazines or TV commercials. Blackbox, the game's developers, leaned into the internet's growing skate community to spread the word. I have vivid memories of searching EA Skate updates on YouTube in 2007, and every day after school watching the same few videos over and over again, just dying to play this game. I was devastated to find out that they announced it would be exclusively released on next generation consoles, which at the time was the Xbox 360 and PS3, and at that time I only had a PlayStation 2. So this was the first time that a game would be literally unavailable to me, and as much as it sucked, it kind of gave it this aura, like it was a new chapter for gaming. And it took months and months of begging, but ultimately I was able to convince my parents to buy me an Xbox 360 as well as Skate for Christmas in 2007. I still remember buying the console at Walmart, setting it up in my dad's living room, and
I think it's actually crazy. Skate 1, 2, and 3 all came out on the same two consoles. All three of those games. Like, I think there was like 1 or 2 years between each of them as well.
Sitting on the floor and staying up all night
and
to
then
play
they
the
never
game.
made any
Not
more.
to exaggerate, it
Until
kind of changed
now.
my life. EA Skate actually...
2 entire generations after the original games were created.
Introduced you and included real street skaters into the fabric of the story. You had P-Rod, Chris Cole, John Rattray, PJ Ladd, of course Rob Dyrdek and Big Black. They even threw in real footage of real skaters and some cutscenes to remind you just how rad these dudes actually were. But easily the most exciting new feature that Skate was introducing was their Flick It technology, which totally dismantled the button mashing style of the Tony Hawk series.
When you're playing the game, your left stick, that's your body. So you're steering left and right, pulling it back to get into power slides, push forward, your guy will crouch. And then your right stick, that controls your board. So I'm gonna pull back, crouch for a little bit to get ready for a big ollie, and then flick it forward. That's why it's called Flick It, because you do flick the stick forward.
I feel like this is the most, it's definitely the most revolutionary control scheme for a sports video game, or like, no, specifically skateboarding video game.
simple. And off to the side, in our game, that'll give you a kickflip. So you actually get something out of whatever you do with the stick, including swinging it around.
Wait a second, did they get this from 2K? What was the first NBA 2K game? Hey Siri, what was the first NBA 2K game to release? Oh. Okay, so it literally started in 1999. So yeah, they might have gotten this from 2K.
Onto the side. And so crouching.
I don't know how the early 2K games worked though in the control scheme. I don't know if they were the analog stick to shoot the ball.
Going it forward, however much force you put into it, that's what your ollie is.
Wait,
And
so
you
there
can
was
also
a
push forward and
NBA
pop off the
2K
front to
game
get
on
ollies, and a whole
PlayStation
combination
2?
of gestures
What the
to get all
fuck?
the different flip tricks that are out there.
Skate also introduced small details that felt realistic. You couldn't just land tricks from any height. If the gap was too high, it was impossible to land. You'd fall no matter how many times you tried, if you didn't know the glitch. If you were going too fast, your board would wobble. It would be a lot harder to power slide if you were going too fast. You couldn't grind infinitely. You'd lose speed on rails and curbs if you didn't have enough momentum going into the trick. You could pump your body on vert ramps to gain speed just like a rail transition skate.
They used to have speed wobble in these games? I didn't know this. I've only ever played Skate 2 and 3. I never was able to get a hold of the first one. I also really didn't want to play it because you couldn't walk around. So, like, from my perspective, there was no point in playing the game.
Skater, not needing to push your board in between ramps. It was clear that the black box developers had consulted real skateboarders to depict the physics as accurately as possible while still giving it a video game feel. And even though they
Oh god, this video is gonna turn out to be fucking super long. This is a 38-minute video, and I'm already at 15 minutes on my
included
recording.
the X Games and Mega Park, where you could hit a mega ramp and get some big air, it kinda still felt limited to something Danny Way could do in real life. The map felt like a regular city that happened to have some sick skate spots. You had clean corporate plazas.
You know
dark
what's
and
funny? I'm assuming this is Skate 1. The graphics from Skate 1 look like the graphics for Skate 4. Is that not fucking insane?
regular city that happened to have some sick skate.
This looks like it looks dingier than Skate 4, but the art style is exactly the same. And they didn't do this art style because they wanted to. They had to do this art style because they had to back then.
Spots. You had clean corporate plazas, dark and dirty alleyways, brand new skate parks, and decrepit old skate
And
parks.
that's how-
a perfect mix to fit whatever vibe.
That's how good Skate 4 looks. Is as good as Skate 1 looks. That's actually ridiculous, especially for how long they had to make this fucking game.
you were feeling that day. They also added pedestrians to make it feel real and occupied. Although they added an extremely annoying feature where they would just kind of mill around wherever you were skating to get in the way.
Did
there were
he
even
just
banned
slam him in
locations
the head
where
with
if
the
you skated them,
the
a security
board?
guard would chase you and try to knock you off your board, which created these tense moments where the pressure was on. And overall, they had this gritty aesthetic, with a vignette over the screen and a low camera angle to mimic a cameraman following you capturing your lines. But it wasn't just the controls, physics, and aesthetic that made Skate feel like real skateboarding, it was the challenges and career mode. Instead of cartoonish missions or collecting floating letters, Skate gave you the kind of goals that mirrored an actual skater's career. A photographer from Thrasher magazine would text you and challenge you to do a trick. He would snap a photo of you completing the trick and post it on the cover of their next magazine. You'd also be challenged.
He would text me by typing a number multiple times just to get one letter. That's how it was back in the day. That's insane. I can't even imagine. Like, I've had to do that system. I think PlayStation 3, you have to do that because they don't have an actual, like, keypad with letters. Like, the keypad on the screen is literally numbers for some reason. I don't know.
Challenge to film lines for a fictional skate video, and you could also edit those video clips and upload them online for other players to see. Your videographer was essentially your right-hand man throughout the game, who was hyping
It's
you
either
up
that or
whenever
it's
you
a
landed
Nintendo
something sick, or
system
holding
that I
you
used to have.
accountable if you were messing
was
up.
like that.
There were pool jams and tight bowls. They had intense downhill death races through city streets, where dodging pedestrians and carving past cars felt like something straight out of a video. And last, but certainly not least, you could play an actual game of Skate. For those who don't know, Skate is basically the same exact thing as horse and basketball. One person sets a trick, the other has to do the exact same trick. and
Okay,
if you
yeah, I
don't,
know that. I know this. Sorry, I'm just gonna skip a little bit because this video is gonna take forever.
it was much more noticeable, being dirty, bloody,
If
and
you want to go
bruised
watch
after
the video,
skating
you
and
can
falling
go
for hours.
go
The
watch it
introduction of
on Patrick CC's YouTube
the
channel.
spillway was incredible. We would spend hours ripping through this thing at dangerous speeds. One of the most celebrated features in Skate 2 was the ability to get off your board and move objects around. I can't tell you how many times I played Skate 1 and just thought, man, if I could just get off my board and walk up these stairs. This was an absolute game changer. You could now drag ramps, benches, rails, and pads into position to build your own lines or reconfigure iconic spots.
Wait, this was in 2? I didn't know that. Let's skip ahead a little bit. Sorry.
You could land impossible tricks way too easily, the board physics were more forgiving, and the raw tension that made the first two games so rewarding just wasn't there anymore.
Nah,
Riding
that's
a
why
small
I
eight
like
stair in
Skate
this
3.
game-
You can just do whatever you want whenever you want. It's awesome.
Game was not nearly as immersive or fun. The best way to play this game was to go to the Super Ultra Mega Park or the new Spillway and
Holy
send massive
shit.
unrealistic tricks. The Industrial Zone was my
That's insane.
personal favorite. The unique quarry was perfect for high speeds and big flowy sections, and this rusty old ship port was the closest thing to the gritty feel of the previous games. Now they did introduce different difficulties difficulties. You had easy, normal, and hardcore, but I always felt that hardcore mode didn't make the game look and feel more realistic, it just made everything harder to do for the sake of making it harder. It felt like EA was trying to widen the appeal
That's exactly
for Skate
how it
3,
was.
making it more fun for casual
how it
players
is,
that enjoy
still.
the Tony Hawk style games, which is why challenges like Hall of Meat significantly ramped up. Now you could get to much higher locations and the falls were much more brutal. You would get a score based on how many bones you broke, how far you fell, and how much damage you took, and they included these sort of emotes that allowed for more unique falls. Also, highlighting exactly what bones you broke in red was a really nice touch. Even though this was the furthest thing from realistic, everyone agrees Hall of Meat was a hilarious aspect that made that game addicting. And even though Skate 3 was now the furthest thing from realistic,
I really like skateboarding, so when I found out about Hall of Meat, I was just like, I don't really care. I just want to do cool shit. And I don't really think hurting myself on purpose is funny or cool. I don't know.
Still had the spirit of skate culture. Once again, real skaters, and everyone's.
I mean, slapstick isn't really my thing, so I don't like seeing people get hurt and just laugh at it for the most part.
Favorite fictional character, Coach Frank, who was your chaotic and silly skate coach teaching you how to live up to your full potential. The story mode was about building a skate brand. You started as an underground skater with one goal: sell 1 million boards. That premise alone.
He's kind of just going over the whole history of the game series. I kind of want to just get into where we start talking about Skate 4.
However, what EA didn't realize at the time was that Skate 3 was far from dead. In fact, over the next decade, it would
no, Skate 3, holy shit, their audience and their player base has held out forever. It's insane.
More popular than ever, largely thanks to YouTubers like ZexyZek, who essentially rebranded Skate 3 from a kinda sorta realistic skateboarding simulator into a straight up sandbox playground for ragdoll physics, massive jumps, and pushing the limits of the game that the developers couldn't have even imagined. Even non-skate fans were watching these videos because it sorta Mr. Beastified the game. I would watch these videos because they accomplished things that firstly I could never even imagine, and even if I could, they were so over the top that I would never spend the time or effort trying to do them while playing the game myself.
Yeah.
However, in 2014, nearly 4 years after its release, Skate 3 was reprinted and restocked due to its popularity on YouTube. By 2016, it had sold more copies post-launch.
There's another guy that I watch a lot that makes skateboarding or Skate 3 videos. YouTube. What? This guy. He's really cool. I remember seeing his shorts literally all the fucking time. He did the he got super popular doing the Christ Air thing. This. Jesus Christ skateboarding. I can't really play too much of it because of copyright, but
did in its first year.
I like his videos.
And because of this, rumors persisted that EA would make Skate 4. I mean, clearly the demand was there, right? But they finally confirmed 7 years later in 2017 that they were not actively developing Skate 4. So the fandom gave up, and they just appreciated the trilogy for what it was. But then, independent studios started investing in the action sports genre. Games like Pipe and Skater XL popped up on Steam, providing a simple, realistic action sports simulator. Skater XL actually challenged the original Skate's realism, where now you had to use both joysticks to control the board. This game was
so hard, bro. It is so, I cannot figure that game out for the life of me. And I bought it, and I'm like, damn, I can't even play it because I'm not skilled enough. That pisses me off, that I can't even play a game because I'm not good enough with the controller to figure it out.
Harder to learn, but much more realistic. And suddenly, there was a resurgence in demand. And in 2020, at the height of the pandemic,
it's like me trying to play Magic after I bought a skin for her on Marvel Rivals in comp. I'm never gonna play Magic in comp, bro, because first of all, I'll get yelled at, I'll do bad, and then I'll get yelled at even more, and then people will call me slurs.
time where misery persisted online, nobody believed what they heard at this EA Play event.
The moment is here. We finally get to say,
we're back, we're doing it. Skate's happening, we're rolling. We've secretly got together, it's the beginning. The skate evolution continues.
we've been waiting
And
years.
it took like 6 years. And then, you know, we got the game, and I still haven't played it, but it still looks bad. It looks horrible. I'm sorry, like, there's some cool aspects to it, but the way the game physically looks is bad. And I don't know why they wanted, I know exactly why they wanted to make it look that way. Because it looks like Fortnite. And that's what's going to make it popular, in their opinion.
Years, honestly, to make the right game at the right time with the right idea, and really, really pleased to say that we're here. It is really early,
Still, we've got a long way to go, but we're stoked, and this is just the beginning.
and seriously, we really can't wait to bring you guys in and have you be a part of it with us.
We want to thank you for your passion.
Oh yeah, I wanted to show y'all something that I found. Where is it? This guy made a video about me talking shit. I don't know who this is, but they have 25 subscribers and they're talking shit about my views and my subscriber count. I think it's hilarious. Where is it?
Let's talk about sick of overcomplicating. Let's talk about grinding on YouTube, or maybe not. This guy says he's been at it for 8 years. 3 channels, 712 videos, and
Like, who the fuck is this guy? Who is... I want to know so bad who this is, because I want to have a conversation with him. Because... how are you talking shit about my channel? Look at your own channel, bro.
only 2,300 subscribers. That's a crawl, not a grind. 38-minute uploads, 2 hours of content. Still barely a view after hours. Respect the time spent, but it's not about how much you post. It's about what you post. I'm a month in, already pulling views.
No, you're not.
Quality over quantity. That's how you move smart. Post with purpose, not just noise. Grind smart.
Anyways, who the fuck is this? This is insane. I've never had someone just call me out for not being a good YouTuber or something. And he put a bunch of Skate 4 titles, so I feel like he came from one of those videos. Anyways, I'm gonna clip this and post it. Let me play the other video. Shit.
Knock you off your board, which created these 10 franchise was finally back. And even more exciting, Cuz Perry, the lead creative developer of the first 3 games, was also returning to produce Skate 4. His involvement gave fans hope that this game would hit just as hard as the trilogy. The news was almost unbelievable, especially considering there were no updates for a full year after the initial announcement, until an official Skate YouTube channel uploaded a video titled, "We're working on it."
Truth is, it's early. We're still working on it.
You're joking. Has anyone seen gameplay?
Well, a couple people have seen it.
What people?
Sick.
It's about time.
They've seen it?
It just looks beautiful. This whole
Playing
open
online
world.
sessions like that
Picking up the
would be
board
so
and looking
funny.
back. It reminds me of Skate 2.
Oh, cool. You're listening to the fans.
And those 2 sound bites in there were
Oh, cool. You're listening to the fans. No, they're not.
key. A guy saying, "It reminds me of Skate 2," and "Cool, you're listening to the fans." We didn't know it yet, but those were so far from the truth. After another long year
Nah, it reminds me of Skate 1 mixed with Fortnite. Fucking bullshit, bro.
no update, a video called "Still Working on It" dropped that featured the first official gameplay, proving that this thing was real. In the bottom corner, they reminded everyone that this was pre-alpha, which explains the absence of textures and buildings. And again, in this video, they were reminding everyone that they are creating what the fans wanted.
What you told us and started building.
With a community as passionate as Skate's, it seemed like a no-brainer for the developers to treat their core fans as a massive free survey pool to help guide them.
We told you to make a skateboarding video game, and you made a fucking human Plinko simulator. What the fuck? What are we doing here?
Fans as a massive free survey pool to help guide them in building the best game possible. And I can't express enough that they made it clear that transparency was at the forefront of this game's development. Skate released a show on their YouTube called The Boardroom, a developer sit down where they discuss the game's progress and
if they don't update the map as we go with this game, it might be the end of the franchise. And they're ending it off on a low note, bruh. Like, if they don't update it and fix the fucking art style, stop making it look like Fortnite and Need for Speed Unbound, bro. It doesn't look good.
Directly addressed community feedback. The series ran for 5 episodes, alongside other content the team was regularly putting out. They read comments and provided answers to the community. It was this type of communication with fans that is almost never seen in the development of other games.
We wanted to remove as many barriers to entry as possible so that everyone can play together on day one, regardless of price or platform. So that's why the next Skate game would be a free-to-play title available to gamers around the world.
However, little by
That's not why. It's because the game isn't good. The game isn't good enough for them to charge us money for it.
As fans got more information from the developers, the more skeptical they became. I think everyone trusts Full Circle, but nobody trusts EA. Free-to-play is kinda scary. We need a story mode for this game. Makes me nervous they only mentioned multiplayer. It was also in this video that they made a very important distinction. This game is not the 4th edition of the franchise.
Okay, throw the bottles and everything at me now. No, it's not Skate 4, and here's the reason. This isn't a sequel. It's not a remake, it's not a reboot, a prequel, it's not any of that. It's not a remake, a remaster, whatever Re can do. This is it, it's Skate. We're in it for the long haul. That means we're not an iterative title. There won't be a Skate 5 through 10, we won't be pumping them out all the time. We're gonna do this, we're gonna listen to what you guys say over the course of time and put the features that you guys want into it.
Basically,
and then they're gonna take it away from us when it doesn't do well. And then we'll never have another Skate game. That's the shit part. Because they're not gonna make money. I don't think a lot of people are gonna be buying skins. Which, why the fuck do they have skins in a skateboarding game? Just sell clothing items. And give us some boards to choose from the beginning, and then sell us, like, premium ones or something. If you gotta make money on this game. Which I understand the microtransactions, but if you gotta make money, give us some free shit at least with this free game, like Rivals does.
They are saying this is an entirely new game, not a continuation.
Or I don't know how this works, but give us a progression system if possible, like Rivals does.
Of the original franchise. While that might be true from a developmental standpoint,
where you can literally grind for free shit.
Strategic move by avoiding
just
the
by
Skate 4
game
label, they gave themselves more cushion against backlash. If the game didn't live up to expectations, they could always fall back on, well, this was never meant to be Skate 4, because it was evident that they were capitalizing on the fandom of the original, using similar branding, a similar map, similar playstyle, comparing to previous games, but ultimately dismissing anyone who says this was Skate 4.
For the love of God, just call the game Skate 4, not Skate, for the second time.
No, sorry, the game is just Skate, it's not Skate 4.
Yep, please tell me Skate 4 is coming to PS4. Skate 4 is not.
Skate 4 is not coming to PS4, but Skate will be.
In 2022, they released a bunch of updates and playtest videos.
Wait,
you could feel the game
holy
getting closer
shit,
and closer.
Chat. There's a Skate category, a Skate dot category on Twitch. Nobody's streaming the game. Oh no. It's out, right? The game is out now, right? Isn't that what he said? In the video? Am I tripping? Because there's nobody playing that fucking game right now on Twitch.
To looking complete,
Oh,
but it wasn't
no.
necessarily matching with the core fans' vision. As the devs read more comments and responded to fans, it became extremely clear that they were cherry-picking non-critical or super niche comments to give the illusion of transparency while ignoring the major concerns from the players. Like how nearly all the top comments are about wanting an offline mode and story mode, which is never addressed. But in the video, you get random pointless questions answered.
Do you guys even play the game? Who's better? So, yes.
Skate has been officially announced to release in 2025, and EA has provided a number of YouTubers with sponsored early access to the playtest, and fans are extremely disappointed with what they see. Right off the bat, the most noticeable is the art style. Skate 3 was already cartoonish, but Skate has absolutely zero grit. Everything is clean, pristine, and sometimes ramps are just these bright, unnatural colors. It literally looks like Fortnite on skateboards. Now,
Exactly,
that
that's
might
what
not be a
everybody's
deal breaker
saying.
if everything else felt authentic, but that's not the case. So far, we have no confirmation on whether or not there will be a story mode, which means no progression system. You just exist in a giant open world map with other players and just skate around doing challenges with no actual goal.
Time to rip. Use your skater eyes to visualize and utilize the grind potential here. And watch your speed. Getting into grinds requires control. Hit the spot fast enough to grind, but slow enough to lock it in. Know the ledge. Nice. Those skater eyes are working. Skater eyes employed. Bench grinding, verified.
What do you... Skater's eyes employed. That's not the right word. Right? What is she even saying here? You're just trying to make it fucking, oh my god, complex to make it sound intelligent. What is going on?
Getting sponsored, taking photos for magazines, filming video
Skater
parts,
eyes
that's all
employed.
gone. The first question they ask the
Grinding
players during the
verified.
playtest is,
Well, like,
how
what are you even
interested
saying?
would you say you are in skateboard culture? I find myself wondering what they will use this data to interpret. The hopeful side of me says that a lot of people will click, yes, I'm very interested, and then they will include some actual skate culture into the game, but the realist in me says most people will probably say that they're not interested, and they'll continue to make this children's game, because there is really no skateboard culture in this game at all. There are no professional skaters involved that gave Skate its connection to real skateboarding fans. There are no death races, another classic fan favorite mode. There's no custom parks, which is what let the community thrive for so long after Skate 3. But the biggest slap in the face is that you can't even play a game of Skate. How are you gonna have a video game called Skate and you can't even play the game that has been a foundational part of the culture for decades? Your cameraman is actually just the camera that's been Pixarified to be your cute little sidekick friend.
There it is. Your very own board.
They took the cameraman never dies to a whole new fucking level, bro. Cause it's a robot! It's a fucking robot, so of course it doesn't die. The cameraman can only die if you run out of batteries.
Key to the city.
All of the skateboarding lingo has been removed. Whenever you complete a challenge,
Now
the
they just say
narrator
big words just for the sake of saying big words.
will say things like skater eyes deployed and bench grinding.
No, it doesn't. That's the thing. It doesn't even say deployed. It says fucking employed. That's not the right
it's
word.
All cute and quirky soft language so the kiddos can enjoy it while they rack up mom's credit card bill buying skins for their favorite skater. Which, by the way, if you want to buy a skate deck, a t-shirt, shoes, we're not talking about 50 cents or $1 a piece. These items cost $5 each. Basically, if you wanted to fully customize
It's that bad?
Your skater head to toe and the skateboard, it'll cost you the same price as the entire Skate 3 game, which previously all customization was unlockable through the game's progression. Some other features that are absolutely detrimental are the always online mode. That means no more peaceful solo sessions, skating alone just a vibe. You're forced into a server every single time you load up. If your internet connection is down, well, you can't play. It's extremely clear that this game
That's what I hated about downloading games. Like, once we moved away from discs, I hated it. Sitting there and having a game update for 5 hours before you can play it, when you have 3 hours that you were able to play a game, for 3 hours of free time to play a game, and you have to wait for it to update for 5 fucking hours. That's ridiculous. I hate it. It's horrible. Can we go back to releasing games that are already fucking done?
was built for
Please.
YouTube content creators and the kids who grew up watching them. The developers know that they're young.
That is why I like Skate 3 and old games, because they're finished. You don't have to do anything else to them.
Demographic holds Skate 3 as the crown jewel of the series, and the videos they watched growing up showed creators pushing the game to its absolute limits. Speed glitches, massive unnatural gaps, and Mr. Beast-like challenges. This new game was built entirely around that appeal because, well, they probably don't care about...
Did we just call challenge videos Mr. Beast videos now? Is that what we're doing?
About skate culture. Ironically, the YouTubers who want more high-flying stunts for content are gonna have to film their videos surrounded by 100 other online players getting in their way. Each of the 3 games in the series start off with you completing a simple ollie, kickflip, or small stair set, similar to how any other real skater would start their journey. The first thing they make you do in this game is parkour scale the side of a building and then jump a...
Is doing a Patrick CC reaction, is that gonna get me in trouble if I upload this? I might just upload it to the second channel because it might be get me in trouble.
A massive mega ramp. The only people defending this game are children who grew up in this free-to-play model. The ones who don't remember a time when you could play a video game and not be constantly asked to buy more shit. This game is for the kids who thought skating as a piece of raw meat in Skate 3 was the coolest part of the game. And I know I'm coming across as harsh, but I'm not blaming them. They don't know any different. But when they play this game for 3 to 4 months and get bored and wonder why a game that had 15 years of hype died in a few months, rewatch this video and you'll see why. Then again, if you do just change your mindset a little bit and just accept that this isn't a true Skate successor and it's more of a acrobatic parkour game with a little bit of skateboard mixed in, I can even live with that.
What the fuck was that?
Acrobatic.
What am I looking at? How does this have anything to do with skateboarding?
Parkour game with a little bit of skateboard mixed in, I can even live with that. And it actually looks like it could be pretty fun for a bit. Almost like a mobile game you play for an hour every once in a while. But the free-to-play model is something that literally every video game...
And I'm hating on it hardcore right now. I still haven't played the game. I'm gonna get around to it, but I've been busy at work. Very busy. Like, literally yesterday I did 12 hours at work without any breaks. So I'm already dead, and I already did 3 hours. I'm going back to work to do like 7 more hours. 7. Anyways.
Fans should be against. We have been purchasing video games for decades. We all understand that a company needs to make money, but buying something should mean that you own it. And if it's free, you don't own the game. Once they decide to shut
They want you to own nothing and be happy.
on the game's servers, you will never be able to play it again. Plus, I find it telling that even though this game is in its beta release, the only thing that is fully functional is the microtransaction store. In case
That's the fucked up part. They can charge us for things that we can buy on free games. And then if the free game is not doing well enough, it's not selling enough custom stuff, they can just take the game away. That's why we were nervous for it to be a free game. Because they can just take it away when they feel like it.
I haven't been explicitly clear.
They want you to own nothing and be happy.
Is not a love letter to the skate franchise or skate culture. This is a massive corporation using the die-hard skate fan base as a vehicle.
And the worst part, like he was just saying, it's owned by EA. The greatest fucking video game company ever, surely.
to sell digital cosmetics. The free-to-play model,
They're
unfortunately,
totally the greatest one ever and have definitely never done anything immoral.
has taken over gaming. It sounds good on the surface, but it mostly just ends with studios releasing incomplete games or good enough games, because in order to justify a $40, $50, $60, or $70 purchase price like they used to, they would have to actually make a game with depth. Making AAA games is insanely
True.
expensive. When a studio charges a one-time entry fee, there's a cap on how much money they can realistically make. Even if the game sells millions of copies, that fixed price can only earn so much money. But if they release the game as free to play, they won't make money up front, but way more people will try the game out, and they've essentially opened the doors to an uncapped year-over-year revenue stream by people buying it in their shitty fucking store. And this
Oh,
approach
I
is
love how mad he got there. I want to see that happen more often, because this is something that actually is, for a lack of better terms, piss-offable.
just limited to Electronic Arts. Studies show that more than 50% of revenue for many major game publishers now comes from microtransactions. Games like Asphalt 9 have transformed into entirely ad-fueled casinos, where progress is deliberately slowed to...
You know what's funny that I just thought about? Because he doesn't curse a lot in his videos, so he definitely marked the spot where it happens in the recording and told his editor, hey, this exact spot, do a bunch of sensors right there.
nudge players towards spending real money.
Do
Even
a bunch
worse,
of
the
sensors.
microtransaction model discourages
So I
innovation.
stay monetized.
Instead of building great games from the ground up that will last a lifetime, publishers focus on maximizing engagement, extracting more
I can't even tell, is this Fortnite or is is this
and money
Skate
from
4?
players through cosmetic items and pay-to-win features.
The art style is exactly the same. Bro, if we start getting Lego skaters, it's over.
You don't need to sell a complete game anymore. You just need to keep players hooked long enough to open their wallets. So for Skate,
Oh yeah, they're literally called San Van Bucks. SV Bucks. V-Bucks from Fortnite? Robux from Roblox. San Van Bucks from fucking Skate.
They might add real skaters in there, but you have to purchase them as a skin. There might be sick new maps that mimic realistic skate spots for purchase. I wouldn't be surprised if they made in-game challenges or competitions that you have to buy into or wager just to play in hopes of winning more whatever dumb currency they have. And you might think that you have the willpower to avoid these transactions, but statistically speaking, most people will ultimately cave and make a purchase. 82% of gamers made at least one microtransaction purchase in 2023. If you've spent dozens of hours playing a game, mastering its mechanics, and progressing through its challenges, then the developers are counting on you being more willing to part with a few dollars here or there to enhance the experience. This could mean buying a fancy outfit for your character.
Oh god. Craziest example to use.
Paying to unlock a new arena, or even purchasing in-game currency to just speed up the progress.
Wait, if they update the map and they make it DLC, I'm not playing the game. If they do that, if they make new areas to the game and they make it DLC, fuck no, I'm not buying it. And fuck no, I'm not playing the game anymore. They can fuck right off with their greedy asses if that happens.
Yes, the sunk cost fallacy can kick in here. You've already invested so much time, it seems foolish not to spend a little more to get the most out of your time investment. The only problem is, you aren't actually buying something of real value, and you also don't actually own it. Skate is not here to honor skateboarding, it's here to monetize it. Skate is not being revived because EA cares about skateboarding culture. It's being revived because they know you'll pay $5 to put a Santa hat on your skater. And when you get bored after playing it for a few months...
I feel like skateboard YouTube is coming back, kind of, but like not as big as it used to be. But I don't know if that's just nostalgia when I was part of the community massively, because like I am only recently coming back to the community And like even more recently, I haven't been focusing on skateboarding as much as I should be again.
And you're wondering why you feel no desire to pick up the controller and get back on, you'll finally understand why people played Skate 1, 2, and 3 for over a decade. Because these games had soul, and they were made to resemble and honor a culture that has been around for decades and will last for decades to come. This isn't the future of gaming, it's the funeral. And as a grown man, I don't have time to be mad, I'm just disappointed.
Yep, we'll see what happens in the decades to come. Anyways, chat, go subscribe to Patrick CC. That was a great video. Hopefully I can actually upload this without getting another copyright strike and getting my channel taken away. If you liked the video, like and subscribe. I'll see y'all later.